The pursuit of best practices was really our goal. It was the foundation of the organization. So how would we assemble and really garner best practices, achieve that, and then deploy that to the M&A community successfully? That's why we came up with the concept of getting the best, biggest, brightest companies to come together who are specialized in their field in the M&A business and see if we could pull off a relationship where we could garner from those organizations all of the dealings that they have with their clients and filter that information, bring it down, and then have an ability to deploy that as a combined organization speaking in one voice to the M&A community.
In order to be successful on an M&A transaction, you're going to need to successfully incorporate all the elements that go into an acquisition, which is not only the acquisition but also the integration. And I think the emphasis of this program is on kind of a holistic view towards the transaction, and that's going to assure a more successful transaction.
The whole idea of the M&A Leadership Council is to do knowledge sharing, capture best practices, share them with others, recognizing that the purpose of this is to grow competencies within companies around M&A excellence. To that end, we've been very lucky in bringing in top-notch firms, companies like Crowe Horwath, companies like Ketchum, Baker McKenzie, and others who in their particular areas are experts in M&A, who also share the same values and mission that we do.
We've been a part of the council for 2.5 or 3 years. We were one of the early additions to it, and I'll tell you why it matters is we see a lot of deals out there, but we don't see a single spot for all the expertise to come together.
So we work with executives to help them get deals consistently right. We'll work with them on the front end with an executive briefing, kind of a 4-hour, everything you need to know about the art and science of getting M&A really right. The second half of the day, we work with deal teams to help them get traction immediately on the deals that they're working, wherever they are in the deal cycle. We have a very specific agenda to bridge going from due diligence to integration. And what we find is that organizations spend all their time on the transaction but aren't really prepared to launch a deal when it's time to announce. So this is a high compression strategic planning activity so the entire executive team is on the same page, knows what to do, and the big decisions are at least clarified from a directional guidance standpoint so we can stabilize the organization and the client base immediately upon launch of the deal.
Share knowledge, best practices with various folks who are interested in getting better and learning about best practices, increasing their in-house competencies around M&A.